Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Day One Breakfast with Bob, 70.3 World Championships, beautiful Taupo. My name is Bob Babbitt, brought to you by HOKA, Fly Human Fly, Master Spas, SFuels, right fuel, right time, Deboer Wetsuits, Quintana, and of course, our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, Mr. Marc Dubrick, coming off a third place at Ironman Western Australia. That's a pretty good lead into this one, Marc.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me again. And yeah, super happy. I came over to Australia early and was happy with a podium at a Pro Series race. So super excited.
Yeah. Now, you've done 70.3 St. George, Oceanside, Talon, Cozumel. So how does the ranking system set you up right now?
Yeah, for the Pro Series, if I just finish, honestly, this weekend, I'll have enough points to get in the top 50. And as you know, it's like 10 or 11 through 50, it's all the same. 11 through 50 is all 5K bonus.
5K.
So with no Ironmans, it's it's exactly what I could have asked for. Next year might look at doing a full, but it's a big ask doing 3 full Ironmans still.
That's a big ask.
It's a big ask.
Well, you're going from none.
Yeah, I haven't done any.
Yeah.
So I still won't look at the Pro Series, but I might look at doing my first full next year at some point.
Because then if you qualify, then you're there, right? You can go to Nice if you feel like it.
Exactly. I don't know when in the season it'll be, in the Nice qualification or maybe the Kona qualification. But
yes. Well, and then this, you also did a T100. You did Lake Las Vegas. What were your takeaways from that? Because that's a lot of fast people.
Oh, yeah, a lot of fast people. And I did the U.S. Open last year.
Yes.
And that was a great experience near my home in Chicago, so my whole family was able to come. And then Vegas, kind of a home. I mean, I've lived in St. George now quite a lot with Nick Chase. He's the owner of the Real Tri Squad, and super good community in St. George, and it's not far from Vegas. So I got the wild card. They let me know like a month out, which is awesome.
Yes, got some time to train.
It wasn't like a week out, so it was definitely a focus for the schedule, and I was super excited to get it. And I knew exactly the strength of those guys. I watch all of those T100s, so it was great. I'm not afraid to jump into competitive races. I think it can be, no matter how it goes, it can be a good learning experience. So the bike is still, I would say, like where I need to improve the most. And it was just a blast either way. So I had so much fun there. I ended up 12th. And yeah, I think it gave me some good confidence as well leading into the tail end of the season.
Well, yeah, getting 12th there and getting 3rd here and then moving into, this is a course. Do you feel this course suits you?
Hopefully I mean, it's rolling.
Yeah.
We'll be at the 12 meters, so there's a bit more of a benefit there. But I still think it's going to be a tough and honest course because the rolling part comes first, the rolling hills, the rougher roads come first. So it'll split up, I think, with how strong the guys are, with how big the group is going to be coming out of the water, most likely how big the group will be. So it's just making sure to watch those moves and those splits because it'll happen earlier in the race, I believe.
Yeah, so making the transition from swim, right, to this triathlon thing, how tough has that been?
You're saying like as I grew up swimming?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's been tough, especially the bike, but it just takes time, and I think that's where people get frustrated. It just takes time, this growth, this development. I did the short course stuff too, and it just takes time in the sport, and that can get expensive, of course. So I've thankfully built a great community around myself. I've met some awesome people, and I have a great support crew. And without them, I really couldn't do this at all. Like here in New Zealand, it's an expensive trip. I got Lisa here. You had Tamara earlier, so I got the Real Tri Squad here, and that makes the sport fun. But yeah, I grew up swimming, grew up kind of running. So I just, it's helped, especially with the swim. Hopefully I'll always be there at the front of the race, getting on the bike, and then soon, hopefully, I'll never leave the front of the race on the bike. But you just never know. So it's been good.
Then mentioning patience, and everybody's expecting, okay, I got a bike. I've been in the wind tunnel. I'm going to gain 50 watts, and I'm going to be great. It is a process, and just somebody getting set up by one person doesn't mean that's going to work for you. So that figuring that out and staying the course, and understanding that it is not going to happen overnight.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the toughest part.
Yeah, and I think who you surround yourself with can have a huge impact, and obviously your mindset going into things. But my coach James, he's like, when you have a coach or someone around you who isn't afraid to say what you needs to be said.
Right.
They're not gonna pamper you, tell you what you want to hear, my coach is, even from like day one in 2018, is like you're weak on the bike, pretty much. Like, this is what we need to do. This is where you're weak, kind of thing. Obviously, delivered it a bit better.
Yes.
But you got to surround yourself with people who aren't afraid to tell you the truth, because that's how you grow.
That's how you get better. What race did you have that where you realized, okay, I can be good at this? This can be my sport?
Yeah, there's a few, I guess. Last year, this World Champs last year in Lahti was
getting 8th.
Yeah, and that was also just like a big mental win. I came off the bike, really didn't know where I was. Obviously, later found out I came off in 22nd.
Yes.
And I ran my way up into 8th. I had the second fastest run. So there's like highlights here and there where you just piece it together, or you just close really well, whatever it is. But that was a big one for me. And then this year I actually had my first 70.3 Ironman win at Cozumel.
Yes.
And then doing St. Anthony's with Lisa, both of us winning, was obviously incredible. And then I did the Beijing try. They brought it back. Challenge Beijing, they had again. Belinda put that on, and there was only 6 of us in the race. Kyle Smith was there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there was so much fun. Small crew, but absolute blast. And I actually raced on a rental bike. So that's where, like...
Purposely?
No, not purposely. The airline lost my bike. I left Talon, and
Yeah.
I was in Talon for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I stayed with a good friend from college. We were teammates at University of Missouri.
Yeah,
He's from there. Stayed with him for the week, and then flew to Beijing without my bike. My bike never got loaded on the plane. And I did everything I could to find my bike, to get it there in time. Belinda and the Challenge family, all they helped me out so much, and I got a good enough bike, and just made the most of it and ended up second. So it was a great day for that, but it's wild what things happen when you're in the sport long enough.
Yeah.
And you travel enough.
And you just have to let stuff roll off your back. You just can't.
Yeah.
You can't let it stress you out.
Exactly.
Because why compound it? You're going to do the race. You don't need any negative thoughts when you're going into these races.
Yeah, and that's kind of exactly where I think my mindset kind of falls is, all right, I've done everything I can to get the bike, to prepare for the race. All right, so don't let it ruin the rest of your trip. Don't be a negative. Don't bring anyone else down because it's something happened to you.
Yeah, you can't do it. So your plan here, what are you hoping to do?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the bike is going to be where I'm focusing the most on, and that's where my race, I believe, will still be. So I have those process goals along the way, make sure I'm in good position on the swim, make sure I'm not expending too much energy on the swim, getting on the bike for a big push right away. Got a little bit of an uphill leaving transition, and then we get those rollers, and there's a section in there. Lisa and I did the course yesterday, and I timed it, and we did it was 10-ish minutes, maybe a little less, from one of the big descents to the end of kind of the big rollers, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So just knowing it's 10 minutes is really helpful.
Yes.
Break it up. It's not the whole race. It's just 10 minutes hard, getting through that, making sure you're looking for the splits in the group. And then when you get to the run, just believe that you have
call on what you did last year.
Yeah.
It's I was in the Worlds last year and I ran my way up. You can do that again.
Yeah, exactly. So wherever I get off the bike, just believe I can run high up in the race, and then if I can give it everything and finish strong, I'll be happy as well.
And when you talk about improving on the bike, how have you seen? What improvement have you seen in this last year or so?
It's been slow progress, but it's been constant and steady. Again, my coach and I, that's been the full focus.
Right.
I picked up a sponsor with Felt, and they've been super supportive. So they're getting back. We want to bring that back, and I feel like everyone used to ride a Felt. So I'm hoping I can be part of that and bring Felt back and make it as big as it used to be. So did some wind tunnel testing with them, and it's nice that they have my back as well. And then Envy, so there's all these little things that obviously add up. But just strength and getting used to that TT position, and then just learning from races. Growing, I've been in long course now for I guess 3 or 4 years, and getting dropped or whatever it is, if you can learn from why you got dropped or why does that hurt me when that person attacked a little over the hill. Right. If you learn from that, you can see it coming, or you can use it to hurt the other guys eventually if you're strong enough.
Right.
If that makes sense.
And also, drawing on those positives. When you go to 70.3 Worlds, I wasn't scared of the spotlight. I wasn't scared of what was going on. I didn't know where I was.
Yeah.
And sometimes the unknown is okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That guy's back is there. I want him behind me. I'm just running one after another.
Yep, just keep chasing them down and believe in yourself, and then just anticipate, like on the bike especially, I think it's important to like anticipate what could happen.
Yes.
And just be reactive, because anything.
It was fun because I remember being at the convention center in Salt Lake City. What's it? Salt Lake City in St. George, and I think we met in the lobby there. And you were telling me your background, that you watched the show and you're racing as a pro, and just watching you come out of the water with Ben Canute and all the guys. I'm like, this kid's going to be special, because you weren't afraid of the moment. You weren't afraid of, hey, this is a World Championships and I'm here to perform in a World Championship.
Oh, that was a blast. Yeah, my first World Champs was St. George. I went with my homestay to the VIP dinner.
Yes.
I think I was the only pro there.
You probably were the only pro there.
It was awesome experiencing that. I've been to a few since. I was able to watch Nice last year. I went there after Lahti, and then I went to Kona this year. I went out with Zoot, and they had us do some of the stuff with Team Zoot.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. I just like getting involved with the community. But yeah, I was obviously a big fan of, or still a big fan of the show. It's fun seeing like your idols get on the show. Like that's why I started. Like you used to interview, all of the greats, or you still do.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's fun.
It's fun following.
Well, and the reality is every one of them was an age grouper, right? They that's what I think our audience appreciates, is that, you didn't know you were going to be a professional triathlete when you were swimming in high school, college, and people didn't, Ferdinand didn't know he was going to be a professional triathlete when his mom and dad put him into swim lessons so he didn't die in the surf in South Africa. Right? Like, that's what I love about this is you never know when you're going to have that race. Like you did last year and getting 8th. Well, there's no reason that can't be 3rd. Like, no reason you can't be on a podium in one of these races, because you have the natural talent to do all of that.
Yeah, it's fun hearing people's background and the different routes that they took to get into the sport, or what they've overcome. Everyone has a good story, I think, and
they do.
I think you've done a good job of letting those people explain their story and get it out there.
I learn a lot, and I think our age groupers learned that, hey, wait a second, this guy didn't know he was going to be a pro? Why can't I get better?
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Yeah. So over all of the years that you've been doing Breakfast with Bob, do you have a favorite guest or a favorite story that you've had from someone? Maybe not like a Jan Frodeno, but someone else, I guess.
There's a number of them, and some of them aren't even triathlon related. So like John McAvoy is a guy from the UK who was a criminal, grew up in a family like the Sopranos, and he was his dad and uncle went to jail for armored truck robbery, and he knew that you didn't answer the phone in the house because it was bugged, so they go to the backyard, and he got his first gun when he was 16.
Oh my goodness.
Tried his first armed robbery when he was 18, caught. He was a pretty crappy criminal, and was doing 5 to 10, and then got out and was planning his second armed robbery, and gets caught again, and now he gets like a double life sentence because of his family background. And while he's in prison, he's watching his best friend, who was also a criminal, in a car chase on a small TV, die. Oh
my goodness.
Right? And decide, just to get over that, he started going to the yard, using the rowing machine. And the guard on his own was like, "You're really good at this." And he found out what the indoor records were in the UK for rowing. And eventually this guy's breaking world UK records.
While in jail.
And the guard on his own goes to the warden and goes, "If we really believe that we can turn people around, this young man is a perfect example of that." They let him out of jail. He goes and does Ironman. His book is called From Iron Bars to Iron Man.
I'll have to read this.
Yes. And he and the guard travel the world. Not the world. He still can't come here to the U.S. because he's a felon. But they travel throughout Europe and go to prisons and talk to guards about not giving up on people. Because you never know.
That's such a good story. What was the book again?
From iron bars to Ironman.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, so you had him on.
We had him on the show. Yeah, we did over Zoom because I've never met him personally, but started out with the radio show, had him on Babbittville Radio, and then had him on Breakfast with Bob over Zoom. And he now runs a program for at-risk kids, and it takes them into the mountains, and they become adventurers and
that's so good.
Overcome stuff. So those are the type of stories that I
absolutely
really enjoy.
I mean, he's now giving back so much.
Exactly. Yeah.
Using his platform
and realizing that he had a bad part of his life, but now he's a different person.
I hope that's what the ultimate goal for triathlon or sports for me is where can I give back? Like obviously I'm pursuing a dream of mine by being a professional athlete, but I want to hopefully let people or inspire people to chase their own. So that's an awesome story.
That's what's great about this sport is it allows you to be whoever you want to be and chase any dream that you want.
Mm-hmm. Hey, being active in sports, it's life changing. I do sports because it's a great thing and brings you to obviously fitness, brings you to great people, but it's awesome, isn't it?
Thanks for coming on, man.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, always our conversations usually go in a lot of different directions. I like that. Marc Dubrick has been our guest again, everybody. Again, 70.3 World Championships, beautiful Taupo. My name is Bob Babbitt. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.